Welcome to a new Team CGC 9.8 video. So it had occurred to me in the last couple days here that I think right now it's a great time to buy a big modern mega key in the CGC 9.8. Yeah, so we'll get right into the reveal and all the details here, but I think this one I've noticed the prices sort of pulling back, certainly. And I've noticed a couple completed listings on eBay that were really kind of the inspiration to make this video and kind of go with the recommend, seeing some of the pretty attractive prices. So I think right now it's a great time to buy a Venom number 3 third printing in the CGC 9.8. Yeah, so Venom number 3 third print, it's the first full appearance of Knull. In the third printing you get Knull's first cover basically, so it's become really collected, really eye-appealing cover. I do love the cover, like I could see why it's really collected. Another positive a lot of people mention is it's a pretty low print on this one, and I was doing a little research this morning quickly. I found a print of 9,765 for this. That's pretty low. Yeah, I think maybe they didn't expect it to really be a big key issue or anything like that, but or be well collected. So that's certainly a positive for it. Another thing too, like the first printing cover of Venom number 3. I think, you know, it's a bit underwhelming. Like, it's not a bad cover or anything, but I think it's a bit underwhelming. It hasn't ever really, you know, said to me, like, collect me or buy me or anything like that. So with this third print cover being the first Knull cover with his first full appearance and very eye-appealing and awesome, yeah, it's really just become really well collected. So Venom number 3 in the third printing, CGC 9.8. Yeah, so why right now? I think, you know, this one is pulling back in price. Certainly in the last, let's call it like 4 to 6 months of videos here, I've been, you know, you want to be patient on Venom number 3 third print. It's really kind of exploding here. I think about, you know, yeah, 4 to 6 months ago, we documented a few on our pricing videos where they sold for about 800 bucks. Yeah, so they were for about a month or two selling in the 9.8 for around $800. So it's certainly pulling back in price. Get into all the prices in a sec here. On the census though, 977 9.8s in the blue label. So that seems like a lot, but it's, you know, in the context of like Knull's the most popular modern villain, basically. So there's going to be a lot of something that's the most popular of something. So, you know, there's a lot of them, but I don't think that's a huge negative. Quite a few signature series, 263 signature series. Ones in the 9.8. Yeah, Donnie Cates and Stegman did that signature series event at CGC. So there's 1,240 of these in the 9.8 altogether. 85.3%, the 9.8 ratio in the blue label. You'd like to see that a little better. I always said, you know, this one's not that relatively rare in the 9.8 to like want to pay up massively for it in any way. So it was one to be patient on, and that was one of the reasons this, you know, of all graded copies, 85.3% of them are 9.8. So almost all of them are 9.8s. It's not really relatively rare in the 9.8. But, you know, first full appearance of Knull, first cover appearance, all those reasons, it's the one you want if you're a Knull fan, in my opinion. So mentioning those prices, pulling back in price, I saw one sell on eBay, I think it was like 5 days ago, for $399.99. Yeah, so 400 bucks in this one for Venom number 3 third print in the 9.8. I think that's a great price. I mentioned, you know, maybe a month or two ago, we documented one where it was like $550-ish. It sold in an auction. And I was like, okay, this one's starting to pull back. Like, you know, like low 400s would be really tempting for me. So now they're in the low 400s. You know, that one going for $399.99. Another one sold for $430, and another one sold for $470. So that could be kind of the range, to be honest. I could see this one sort of settling sort of, you know, around 400, and then maybe the highs are 475 if you want it right now, kind of thing. That could be a bit of a price range. So that'll be interesting to see how that works out. But I do think right now, if you're a Knull fan, if you've been heeding my recommendation to wait for a pullback, this is the pullback. Yeah, the pullback's now, and a part of a pullback is kind of seizing the opportunity. And I don't have this one. Yeah, I just kind of brought out my Spider-Man 300s because kind of all started with first Venom in a way. Yeah, I don't have this one in the CGC 9.8 Venom number 3 third print. So I'm on the lookout. Yeah, this is really kind of a recommendation video for myself. But I thought I'd share it with everyone out there too, because, you know, and I'm not, you know, I'm not in a rush to buy this one at all either. There is, you know, over 1,000 of them if you include the signature. There's quite a few of them out there in the 9.8. So, you know, if you lose out on an auction, there, you know, there's going to be another auction in a week or two. So don't, you know, you don't have to like egregiously overpay or rush out to get this one at all. There's quite a few of them. Okay, so definitely recommending Venom number 3, third print in the 9.8 right now. I think the timing's right. We waited for the pullback. The pullback's happening. And, you know, don't really worry about calling the bottom in the pullback. Like, you know, if you bought one for $425 and then another one sells for $375 in a month or two, like, I would not worry about that. Just be happy that you didn't buy it for $800 4 months ago. That's where you want to focus on. That's the attitude, I think, to have with this kind of thing. I got 3 reasons here, boiled it down to 3 reasons why I think right now is just a great time to buy Venom number 3, third print in the CGC 9.8. So first reason, it's definitely, it's the one Knull CGC 9.8 book to get, I think. I prefer it over the first print. It's kind of the most expensive. It's, you know, even the one of 25 variants, pretty rare, certainly as well. But I find, you know, that just doesn't, he's not on the cover clearly, and it's not as well collected and not as expensive either. So this is the one to get. And mentioning too, the underwhelming first print cover, I think, really makes Venom number 3 third print like definitely the one to get. So, you know, if it's the one book to get and it's pulling back in price and you can get it for kind of half price it was 4 months ago, I think that's a decent deal. So it makes sense from that perspective. But yeah, the first reason though is it is the Knull CGC 9.8 comic book to get if you wanted to just get the one like top of the range kind of. So second here is we've talked about it, the pullback in price. Yeah, this one was $800. A couple went over $800 for a month or two there. Yeah, $750. You'd see a couple sell for, but right around $800. They were pretty resilient there for a couple months. Recommended the pullback. It's pulling back in price now. One sold for $400. So yeah, this is one where I think right about now you definitely want to think about buying, certainly. So yeah, second reason is just that pullback in price. Third reason, it is a low printed book. Yeah, I think that's definitely a positive about it. Less than 10,000 printed. There's, you know, you'd assume there's not going to be too many more 9.8s coming online, but I mean, there will be more, but it's still a relatively new book. But with that low print run, I don't think they really expected this one to be super collected and everything. So that is one of the reasons, another reason why it's the Knull one to get. And yeah, reason to target it, I think, right now at this more attractive price. Yeah, so, you know, Venom number 3 third print in the 9.8 now was $800. Now it's $400. You know, maybe pay up, it's, you know, $470. Someone just bought one like a week ago. So that's probably the range, $400 to $475. Maybe for this one you could, yeah, I think with that one selling for $400, you could still be patient on this one. Again, don't feel like you have to be in a rush to go out and buy this one, and aim for a closer to $400 price. And I think that's a great price for what this book is. Because, yeah, again, a lot of positives about this one. I missed this one. Yeah, this is one I made a video about it, and it was about $180. And there was a couple I had mentioned I didn't buy because the shipping was a little bit too much to Canada, which, you know, looking back how far this book has come, the extra $20 shipping to Canada would have been worth it. But I didn't buy one. I did make a video, and it was we did some views on that video, and it, like, I'm not saying because my video, but people were talking about it before I did a video. But it absolutely exploded all the way up to 800 in the CGC 9.8 from like 150. I think in that video I was like, yeah, maybe you have to pay 180 if you want it now. So clearly, you know, that I didn't really foresee what was going to happen with this book, but this is one I want. And this video recommendation is kind of a recommendation for myself too, but I thought I would share it with everyone as well. So Venom number 3 third print in the 9.8 around $400 is looking like a great buy, and I do kind of recommend a purchase now. And we've waited for the pullback, so yeah, let's get in there if you want this one and buy around $400. I think is a great buy. Okay, if you haven't already, I would invite you to join the team and subscribe to Team CGC 9.8. Yeah, I'd love to have you on our comic book collecting and comic book investing team. Hit the bell for all the latest notifications. Add me on Instagram and Twitter. All the links in the description below. But But yeah, you know, just I think it came together in my head in the last day or two. Like, yeah, you know what? Like, I think now's the kind of time. You know, we waited for the pullback. It's a lot cheaper now. This is a really cool book. So definitely, if you're a big Knull fan and you're considering this one, it's a decent time to buy Venom number 3, third print in the CGC 9.8, and probably in the raw too. I'm just not as on top of the raw prices and stuff like that. But okay, thanks so much for watching. Message me on Instagram if you did have any more questions, whatever it might be. Yeah, probably the easiest way to get a hold of me is on Instagram. Thanks again, team, though, so much, and I'll see you on the next one.